what is going on. Right, we have in the UK have been told that we are to expect a week of snow, freezing cold temperatures. On Wednesday it should be getting to -5 degrees at night, so I'm going to do a quick video on how we are prepared for that in the reptile shed. Okay, so as you saw, we've got some ducks. We rescued those earlier last year, 2020. They were down a drain on my mum's street in Swaffham in Norfolk, and we took them in. We had to take them to the vets. We had loads of problems with them. They were on death's door, but now they're happy, healthy ducks thanks to the vets, our friends, and me and Kaylee hand rearing them. It does mean that they've imprinted on us, and so they're not going to be able to leave the garden. So I built them some runs, and I'm sure we'll see them more in the future. What I've been doing this afternoon though is, because we've got some bad weather on its way, I've been cleaning out their filters, their ponds, their pumps, all the sponges, that kind of stuff that would mean in the snow I'd be on my hands and knees trying to clean, and I'd rather not do that, and preparation is key. And it goes the same with keeping animals outside that require heat and equipment, and that's what this little video is going to be about: how I've planned and prepared for some bad weather and what I've done to tackle that. So let's have a look. Okay, starting off with the most common thing that's going to give us jip, and that's going to be heat. Okay, so let's talk about the heat in the enclosures. I've stocked up on, always keep a load of these. These are just 60-watt halogen heat lamps. In the UK I get them from B&M. They're not the best reptile heat lamp on the market by a long shot, but they do the job. They turn on and they heat up. They will save us from a problem if we lose a heat lamp. If we, in the very rare event that the fixture itself goes, now it's not completely uncommon, it's happened to me a few times. We've got a spare fixture, we can screw one of them in easy enough, and some of our enclosures also use ceramic heaters. It's just there as a backup. It's a spare that I've got. It just means that, I mean, what we got there, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Okay, so in the course of a week, we can have 9 heaters or heat lamps blow, and we'll still be okay, just in case I can't get to the shops, anything like that. Hey, what's up, little buddy? This is Piggy, Western Hognose. And that is my first rock wall enclosure background test. It's worth noting that here in the UK, when it's in the summer, everybody moans that it's too hot. When it's the winter, all hell breaks loose and everything stops working. So the roads clog up, post might stop. You might not be able to get into car parks for shops because 5 centimetres of snow is too much to get up a ramp in our cars. So it's worth being prepared for all of this. I'm not saying the UK isn't very good at dealing with slight temperature differences, but we're not that good. So I would like to always be prepared, especially now that I keep my animals in a wooden building in the garden. If it was indoors, it wouldn't be such a problem. We're going to have central heating. Chances are we're not going to have a problem with that. We can crank the temperature. It'll be okay. Out here, if we start to lose something, if we lose power, we've got, my vivs are dead, and my heating's dead. So I've had to think of another way to combat that as well. I'm hoping that none of this happens, and I'm hoping that it's all just wasted stuff that I've brought, but it's always worth being prepared. So let's look at that next bit. This is my main radiator in the room. It's set to barely anything. Like I've said in the previous video, the insulation in this building is so good that we don't really have a problem. We don't really have a problem with nighttime temperatures or daytime temperatures. So this is a little-ish radiator, and it's on 1 and it's on half power. If that blows, what have we got under here somewhere? Right at the back there, we've got a spare little one. So we're doubled up. And then I know what you're thinking. What if we have a power cut? Well, thought of that. We have got a gas heater. This isn't ideal. I don't like the idea of having this in the reptile room running, but it will save our animals if it comes to it. Okay, so this is more than enough to heat this room. Like I said, it doesn't take much to keep these vivs going, to keep this room going. So this is a fairly hot heater, coupled up to a gas bottle from our camper van. We've got 2 of those. We're covered on the base of keeping the ambient temperature in the reptile room hot enough. Let's go back to more reptile equipment. Probably should have mentioned that while I was talking about heat lamps. Here's my, what have we got here? Always stocked up with stuff. Okay, we've got spare thermostats, heat mats. I've got them just in case I need to heat a tub for a snake if, I don't know, say the glass broke or something like that, you know. So got heat mats, I've got spare heat fixtures. This is Daisy's one, our tortoise. So that's in storage because that's not being used at the moment. We've got timers. That's not a problem if a timer goes. This is what happens when you keep reptiles for, I don't know, years and years and years. You end up just collecting random bits. We've got spare cables for things. These are Arcadia stuff for linking out the Arcadia things. Anything can come in useful. Like I said in the previous video, I'm a lift engineer, so I know my way around my electrics and stuff like that. So we can always sort that out. That's not a problem. Here is the infamous Mr. Pine. He's an absolute gentle giant. I've had him for years. This guy's ancient. Came from the animal sanctuary that I mentioned in the previous video I used to work for. He kind of went out and did loads of shows with, you know, kids and schools and that kind of thing. And I just got a little bit kind of sick of him being mauled about every weekend. So I took him home, but he's been with me for years. Absolutely years. He's so cool. Can't wait to get you in a awesome enclosure. Definitely deserves it. Okay, so food. This is an experiment. It's just full of mealworms, and we throw all of our fruit and veg in there, and I'm just trying to use it as a bit of a way of throwing less stuff away, just keep them fed. That does mean I've got a constant supply of mealworms. I'm not breeding these the same way you'd breed mealworms commercially, or even how most people breed mealworms, okay? I'm just keeping a tub of them, so, but I've always got food there. I've got a cockroach colony. That needs a good clean out. I've got a cockroach colony. I've got a backup cockroach colony. So I'm keep 2 cockroach colonies going at the same time. I work from one and I let the other one recover for a couple of months, and I switch it around and I do things like that. I actually get my food delivered through a subscription service through Northampton Reptile Centre. Every 2 weeks I get a few boxes of locusts, crickets, different size crickets to feed out to my geckos. And that's about it. We've got crested geckos, leopard geckos, a standing day gecko and a lined day geckos. So that goes out to them. I still do feed from my cockroach colony, but I'm always getting a fresh package of insects as well. So I think that kind of covers where we are. I'm trying just to show you guys that it's worth sometimes in being a little bit prepared for these kind of things. Like I said, if you've got reptiles in your house, I still think it's worth keeping some stuff. I still think it's worth keeping heat lamps, maybe even some spare equipment. Even if you upgrade your equipment, keep your old stuff. Try not to constantly sell it or throw it away. Fingers crossed, we have no problems at all. It's just 1 week where everyone panics, a little bit of snow. I'm not worried because I know I'm prepared for it. I hope you guys are prepared as well. I hope you guys have no problems. And thanks for checking in, and I will see you guys next time.